Okay, so this morning Sandra and I set about putting the Genoa back on now that we've had the furler repaired, and also we had the rig tensioned yesterday. About 5 turns put in each side of the stays. So unfortunately, as we fed in the leading edge into the foil, the cord that forms the leading edge broke free. So we've had to rebundle the old Genoa here, and we're going to have to put the new Genoa that was being repaired by Chloe from Clow rigging, which is in the forward locker there, but it's really a bit too windy to do that, so we're going to leave that and set about that on a calmer day. But anyway, now I'm going to set about trying to replace the impeller on the starboard engine, which is no longer producing water. It's a job I've never done. I've been putting off for a long time because I'm scared to do it. I did buy kits before we left Thailand, but unfortunately this box was being stored in the forward locker and got soaked. But that's the job for today, because otherwise we cannot really run the starboard engine much at all. So, oops. Okay, so as I said, the job today is moved on to changing the impeller on the starboard engine, which is not drawing in any water at all, which is a bit surprising. I mean, it's a bit beaten up, there's no doubt about it, but I don't think it just suddenly got beat up like that. It's been like that for a while, I guess. Anyway, it came out pretty easily. The whole job was much easier than I thought. The plate, the cover plate, came off without problems. It's already got the new nuts on it rather than the old screws, which are apparently prone to corrosion and difficult. But this came out without any problems at all, and the new one went in pretty easily as well, I have to say. I've just been cleaning up the inside of this plate a bit. It's still got quite a few marks on it and so on. I don't know what that's all about. But I've cleaned it all up. You have to turn the impeller as you put it in, depending on the direction of rotation, and I looked on the plate to see what it had to say, and it says whichever way you turn it that way, so that's not really very useful at all. As I say, this has got quite a lot of marks on it, as does the other half of the thing. So, but I found the O-ring. I've taken out the old O-ring there, and I found the O-ring which was in this poly bag. I didn't know what it was for until I was discussing with Keith yesterday, who came and helped with the rig tensioning yesterday, and he was talking about O-rings, and I thought I was missing a paper gasket, but maybe it was just the O-ring, and I found it, the O-rings, which I hadn't realised what they were for. So now I've just got to get the plate back on and tighten it up, and hopefully it works. So that's the job completed. It took me a little while longer than I expected to get that plate back on. I just assumed that it was symmetrical. It looked symmetrical, but in fact it's not quite symmetrical. It only goes on one way. It took me a little while to work out which way that was. However, it's done, and I have to say that was one of the easiest boat jobs I have ever done. The access is not great, but it's not that bad either. A lot better than pretty much every other job, when the Hells Angels guys are around. So there's only one thing to do now, is to start it, see that it draws in water, and secondly, that it doesn't leak too much. Okay guys, it's me again. In a rush of overconfidence and excitement at getting a job done pretty easy and pretty quickly, no effing and blinding, no issues at all, I've decided that I might as well attempt to do the port engine, which is still producing water, but it hasn't been changed since we got the boat nearly 3 years ago, and I figure it's due doing. So I've got the bits, I might as well use them. Okay, so that's the port side done as well. This wasn't quite as easy as the starboard side. It wasn't quite as easy. As you can see, the steering arm here hangs over the impeller, which is down there, and makes access just that little bit more difficult, but only just a little bit. I know what I haven't month and I haven't switched the water on, so I'll have to go back in. When I was putting it back together again, I could not get the first nut to go into its thread, and as a result I ended up dropping one, and it bounced and disappeared under the engine into the sump. There was a sump under the engine, never to be seen again, unfortunately. So fortunately I bought spare ones, because the original cover has nasty little screws on, and the screw heads were prone to burring, and at some stage Yanmar realised that and changed the design and put these nuts in instead. I didn't realise the screws had already been changed, and we had the nuts on. Otherwise I probably wouldn't have bought these and I would have been in trouble. But anyway, they weren't very expensive, I don't think, although everything at Yanmar is expensive. But I had a spare one, so I used that, and we should be good to go. I just have to go back in there and open the engine cock, the water cock. The engine started without problems as expected, but I had to fix the water, and lots of water, so that's all good. It was producing water on this port side before I changed it, but when I took the impeller out, there were only 2 full blades of the impeller plus 2 half blades, and I saw it with the broken bits and pieces. So yeah, I guess it was time it was replaced. So here we are. Commodore's just drying herself under the trees. We're sheltering from the sun a little bit. We're here at 7 Mile Beach, which is very nice indeed. The water is perfect, it's crystal clear, it's nice and warm. It's a public beach, this bit. There are hotels all the way along here, but there is access between the hotels and so on every few hundred meters. It's absolutely lovely. And we're having a beautiful day on Sunday the 25th of May. Bye for now. Okay, good morning campers. Today's job has been to get the repaired Genoa out. You can see the repair up there near the blue. You can see the whiter strip, vertical stripe on the panel there. That's the repair that we had done by Chloe. And this is the repair we had done by Mike, and we've just got it on. We got up bright and early to try and get it done before the wind got up. It's just beginning to do now, so we need to roll it away, but all is good and it seems to be fixed. Bye for now. Okay, it's Monday morning, and it's early this morning, just after dawn. Sandra and I got the Genoa back on. We put the new one on that was repaired by Chloe, and the repair looks pretty good, I have to say. And now we need to go out and test the repairs.
Coming up.
We've got to go and test the repairs. The bridle's up, Sandra says, so I shall go and help her with that.
Wait.
Okay, so that's the bridle up. I just need to get the rest of the anchor chain up. As you can hear, both the engines are running. There's water coming from both, so I'm very pleased with that. Our repairs of Saturday, what it was, are still working. Okay, Mike, we're sailing in between 10 and 15 knots of wind. We're 60 off the wind at the moment, and this is the leeward stay, as you can see, and we've got a bit of wiggle in it, but not much, not a lot. Certainly, I think as tight as I would like to see it. Presumably the other one's iron rod tight. We'll go and have a look at that one as well. Okay, so here we are, parked again in approximately the same spot. I don't think they count for the wind because I haven't got our special microphone on. Bit in reverse just to make sure the anchor is biting properly, which it seems to be. And we've had a nice sail around the bay. Time to stop the motors. Okay, Okay, so we have travelled, sailed mostly, but we did motor in and out, of course. 12.65 nautical miles, which makes it 994.5 for the month. Sailing wise, the wind was up and down at the proverbial whore's drawers. We managed 7.4 knots out of 16.1.
John is currently just souping up the 4 peaks leakages that we think we have. So a bit of a battle, but what's up, Captain? Well, he's in the dinghy working on the front of the port side that has been giving us a bit of a leaking scenario. So he's just cleaned the nuts and bolts, so we're going to Sikaflex it again, which has been done before. So hopefully that's going to stop it from leaking. We had a huge leak when we arrived. John has got the Sikaflex, and because it's so awkward to get there, just using some what do they call it, lollipop sticks, that gives it a nice smooth finish. Looks a bit better there. We're just enforcing the Sikaflex on the nuts to avoid the water from coming in. We had like how many inches of water in the forepeak? That 3-4 inches of water in the entire forepeak, which is very unpleasant. You have to remove everything and then have it dried, and then you have to wash all the sea water off it, otherwise you just get a crystallized piece of garbage.
Okay, so it's Thursday. It's rainy Thursday. we set off.
Rainy Thursday. We just went to pay Michael and decided we're going to do a quick shop, and the showers decided we'll show you all about it. Look at that. We never made the shop.
We hid under a tree and still got soaked. Oh, there we go. Such is life. The sun is setting on our last night in the Cayman Islands. I have to say, I'm rather sad to be leaving. The place is flat and arguably, many people might argue, uninteresting, but I found it a delight, really. People are lovely. Everyone's really helpful, super helpful. I mean, unbelievably helpful. And of course everyone speaks English, which makes my life a lot easier. It's my primary language, my only real language. And you can get all the comforts of home, pretty much all the comforts of home here. So, yeah, we'll be very sad to leave first thing in the morning, but also super excited to go to our next destination. Well, it is of course the law of sod that today, the 31st of May, the day we plan to leave Grand Cayman, as the sun rises, essentially there's not even a breath of wind. We've been here 3 weeks today, and in that time we've had 10 to 15 knots constantly here in the anchorage or in Grand Cayman. Sometimes more, sometimes less, but we've always had wind. but not today. Okay, so it's now about 5:05, 6, and the sun is just rising. It's trying to poke its way above those trees on the horizon. The anchor is up. It's just dangling in the water because it's filthy, it's covered in mud, and we're about to go. Sadly, of course, there's not a breath of wind. There we go, such is life. And goodbye, Grand Cayman. We really enjoyed it here. Well, you don't often see a frigate sitting down. There you go. There's one. See what it is. And we're out the channel now. That's the end. The last 2 channel markers. So we're out of the channel and we're free to go where we like. Beautiful water, beautiful. Okay, so the engines are shut down and we're sailing, albeit rather slowly, 2 knots or so, out of 5 knots of wind. But it's very pleasant, very peaceful. Really no waves to talk about. As I say, we've only got 5 knots of wind or so. I've got the autopilot set to 50 off the wind, just so that we don't get too close to the wind. We've got the fishing lines out. I think we're going too slowly to catch anything, to be honest. You really want the lure to go whistling past the prey, and they'd be tempted to come and grab it quickly. If it goes past them slowly, they've got time to have a look at it and think about it. Anyway, there is Grand Cayman. I had a lovely time, I have to say. A lovely time. Well, that's amazing. We've done 1,000 nautical miles in May, exactly. That's quite surprising. There's a boat coming the other way. Greatest thing since sliced bread. 16-metre boat. It's a sailing vessel. It's a big vessel. 16 metres, 9 metres wide. Doing 4.5 knots. Sorry, doing 5 knots. Now we're going to pass 4.5 miles away in 55 minutes. Interesting.
Yeah, that is Cayman Islands disappearing in the back there. Water's pretty calm. Dead quiet. We're doing 1.89 knots. The captain is taking a break. Captain's taking a break, testing the water. How's the water, Captain?
Chilly.
Chilly. Chilly my foot.
Oh, the day continues slowly. Grand Cayman is still visible in the distance there somewhere. Where is it? And the Commodore is in the water having a little swim, which is nice. The water is absolutely crystal clear, and we're only doing about 1.8 knots or something, so we can just hang on to the ladder. I wouldn't let go or try and swim and keep up with the boat. That would be daft. Okay, so the wind's got up a little bit. Nearly 7 knots. We're doing almost 3.5. That's quite good. Probably not quite going in the right direction, but it's close enough for government work at the moment. Wow, that's the seaweed. So I guess some of the seaweed all the way across there, going for miles it seems. It's a beautiful day to be on the ocean. It has been all day. Apart from the amount of sargasso seaweed that we keep catching on the fishing lines, which is more than a bit of a nuisance, hauling them in, taking the seaweed off and putting them back in the water again, only to do it again half an hour later. There are times when we've given up and kept them out of the water. sunrise. It's Sunday and it's another beautiful day on the water. We've got just about 10 knots of wind on the beam, and we're doing 5.5 knots without trimming the sails too much. We're down to our last 55 nautical miles to go to roughly the entrance to Cienfuegos Bay. So we should be there in the morning. In fact, we're worrying a little bit that we're going to get there too early because we're going awfully fast. We'll see what happens. Meanwhile, the Commodore's out the front, relaxing after a spot of brunch, which was very nice. And
At Sunday thou shalt not work on a Sunday, thou shalt relax.
We're making a bit of water. I've just more or less filled this starboard tank up. In fact, that's it full now. I'm just going to switch it over to the port tank, which is why the cupboards are open, or the lockers are open, so that I can see what's going on. As you can see, it's a beautiful day on the water. The sails are up. And all is well on the ocean. Bye for now. From not so bad. Here we are, we've got the fishing lines out. Currently all we're catching is seaweed, which is a pity. A nice tuna or something would be lovely. Nice bit of fresh fish. But there we go. It is what it is. But as I say, it's a beautiful day on the ocean. This is shaping up to be our most comfortable passage ever. 168 miles in 10 knots of wind pretty much the whole way. Can't complain about that, and most of it on the beam or close to the beam. It remains a lovely day on the ocean. Bizarrely we're going to get there too early in the middle of the night, and we don't really want to do that, so we just slowed down a bit, taking the Jenny in and allowing us to have a plunge in the beautiful clear blue waters. As so often, the best sunsets are the ones when there's quite a lot of cloud. Clear skies are nice, but they don't give this interesting colour and form that clouds do. And I've just discovered that my niece has today given birth to a son. Don't know his name yet. I look forward to knowing him and hearing his name. Best wishes, Alison and Leo.
Good morning, today is Monday the 2nd of June, and this is our progress. We set off from Cayman Islands with 168 nautical miles, and now we're on point just under 1 mile, and we're heading into, well, this is the beginning of the channel, and hopefully we'll get the sunrise. Sunrise in the east, creeping out there. Hola, welcome to Cuba. This is our entrance to our channel where we are going to be anchoring for check-in. Brand new country for us, some young local people, very, very. Hola!
Buenos dias!
They're fishing, that's their job. Doing some fishing there, the locals. This is our introduction. The little motorboat coming out here.
I think
Found
it's
it.
the pilot boat. Who knows?
So this is our introduction to Cuba, guys.